I'm just so excited to see my students, I might cry.
Excitement, nerves, and anxiety as parents get ready to send their kids back into the classroom for the first time in nearly a year. We'll tell you everything you need to know for next week.
The Spokane Arena may not be accepting new vaccine appointments right now, but our vaccine team has got you covered. We'll explain what your options are to still get your shot.
Tracking a few scattered rain and snow showers this evening. I'll tell you what to expect for the weekend. That part of your forecast is next.
And the Washington Supreme Court has struck down the state's felony drug possession law because it doesn't require prosecutors to prove that someone knowingly or intentionally possessed drugs.
So we're going to explain more about this ruling and how the case started with a Spokane woman. KREM 2 News starts right now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, tonight an advisory panel reviewing Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine has cleared the way for the FDA to formally grant emergency use authorization. It requires only one dose. Now the FDA confirms that J&J's vaccine is slightly less effective than the Moderna and Pfizer shots overall, but still showed 85% efficacy against severe illness and complete protection against COVID-19 deaths 28 days after getting the shot.
The Johnson & Johnson shot was tested in part in South Africa while variants of the virus were spreading. Moderna announced this week it is preparing clinical trials for a booster shot for the South African variant. FDA authorization of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could come as early as this weekend, and if that happens, the vaccine could be headed out to states next week. Now, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is approved for people 18 years old and older, but unlike Moderna and Pfizer's version, which use 2 shots, Johnson & Johnson's only requires 1 dose and just needs refrigeration, not freezers. Initially, 3 to 4 million doses will be shipped out as early as Monday. They plan on shipping 20 million more doses by the end of March and 100 million by the end of June. And with all 3 of those vaccines being distributed throughout the country by the end of March, 130 million adults could be vaccinated. That is half of the United States population. And by the end of June, there will be enough vaccine doses to vaccinate all 400 million American adults. Well, we have new information tonight about where to get a COVID vaccine, despite the fact the Spokane Arena is still not accepting new patients. As we reported all week, the State Department of Health is taking over from Chaz for daily operations at the site. Our Whitney Ward has more information now about how to find appointments in your area.
Yeah, but as a result of that transition, they are only scheduling those who need their second doses of the vaccine. They are not opening up any new appointments right now. We also don't know when that's going to change. So I just want to show you some of your other options here to get a vaccine in Eastern Washington. So I'm just starting here on the Department of Health website. It is their COVID-19 page. So you click on here, you're going to have 2 options. I want you to click on the vaccine locator. When you get there, that is going to bring you down to this page, which has this map, and when you first get there, you're going to see the entire state of Washington. But I want you to focus up here because you can pare it down by county, which I'm just going to start in Spokane County, but then we'll go take a look at some of the other smaller counties in the area as well. So let's just start with Spokane County. That's going to zoom in. You're going to visually be able to see them here on the map. But I want you to look over here where it says list, because if you look there, it's going to break it down and show you a list of exactly where you can get a vaccine in Spokane County. This is a list of each individual location. But if you start to take a look here in the middle, you'll see right here, for example, at the Deer Park Family Care Clinic, they're not available right now. Fred Meyer Pharmacy on Division, they have appointments available right at this very moment. And as you scroll down, you're going to see actually several places right now have appointments available for COVID-19 vaccines. Now, if you continue to scroll down, you can also, again, see that it's listed by county. So let's go down to, let's look at Pend Oreille County, for example. Again, they're going to have a list. Let's scroll this up here just a little bit. You're going to see this red no, and it says the provider reports they do not have appointments available. But look, here in Newport, for example, you can schedule an appointment right now. So I'm just going to click on that. Where that's going to take you is to the Safeway website, which is, we know that right now it is Safeway and Albertsons. And if you click on that, hopefully it's still thinking, there we go. And it's going to take you directly to the website where you can start the process of getting your own COVID vaccine appointment. And this is only, of course, for people who are eligible. And as you can see, they've listed all of the people who are currently in phase 1 and phase 1A, 1B, tier 1. So obviously a lot of people looking for other options because, again, the arena right now is not accepting patients for those first doses, but we do know that there are other options available to you. In the meantime, we have been asking state officials across the board how that is going to start happening. When are those appointments going to open up and how you're going to be able to schedule one. Once we have that information, we will, of course, make sure to let you know.
Good information, Whitney. Today, Chaz Health opened a COVID-19 vaccine clinic at Gonzaga University. It started at 9 this morning and closed at 5 o'clock tonight. The clinic will be open daily until March 2nd. Patients can get vaccinated at Gonzaga's field house in the Martin Center or in the parking lot adjacent to the McCarthy Athletic Center and School of Law. Vaccines are available by appointment only for those who are eligible under the state's phased vaccine distribution plan. So that includes those 65 years or older right now. Chaz will be coordinating directly with their patients on scheduling their appointment. Gonzaga leaders said they applied through the state to become a point of distribution for the vaccine. They say extra traffic is expected to create congestion in the area of Trent, Cincinnati, and Hamilton streets. Campus parking lots next to the McCarthy Athletic Center and the law school will be discouraged while the clinic is open. They expect up to 1,300 visitors daily.
All right, let's check in with Tom Sherry, who's standing by. And of course, the snow that we had a little tiny bit, a trace amount of snow again that fell early this morning. But Tom, we know a ton of snow falling in the mountains this entire week.
Yeah, especially the Cascades. They've been hit the hardest. And we had reports of the westbound lanes actually being closed at 4 p.m. today. They said it might be closed for up to 2 hours. So check before you head out. And in the eastbound lanes, by the way, chains required on non-4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicles. Let's talk about your headlines. Tonight, we're looking for dry weather, but patchy freezing fog. It's going to get cold tonight. Some of the northern valleys may drop down into the teens, but then sunshine on Saturday and then increasing clouds on Sunday. We're at 37 degrees. Wind is out of the west-southwest at 13 miles per hour. When we check the latest radar, we have a few snow showers, mostly down in southeastern Washington and a little bit in the Palouse, but it's pretty dry here at home. So look for a high of 40 on Saturday, 41 on Sunday, and in my 10-day forecast, I have temperatures climbing into the 50s as we transition from late winter weather into early spring weather. I'll share that with you in a few minutes.
All right, Tom, looking forward to that. Well, the headline stunned a lot of people. A professor from Johns Hopkins University wrote an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal saying, well, we'll reach herd immunity by April. So our Verify team took that claim to some of the nation's top infectious disease experts to find out if the data backs it up. So here is Gabe Cohen.
We'll have herd immunity by April. That's the bold prediction from Dr. Martin McCary, a professor of surgery at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. His Wall Street Journal op-ed projects COVID will be mostly gone in early spring. So let's verify. Do experts agree that we'll reach herd immunity by April? Our sources, 4 infectious disease specialists.
Do you think we could reach herd immunity by April?
April is very optimistic. It's unlikely.
I think there is no chance we will have herd immunity by April.
No, it's not possible.
Experts tell me at least 70% of Americans need to be fully vaccinated to reach herd immunity. At this point, CDC data shows less than 7% are. But Dr. McCary's op-ed argues natural immunity from infections may get us there sooner. He claims 2/3 of Americans have actually had COVID, and roughly 55% of the country has natural immunity.
Oh, everything was incorrect.
Dr. Ali Moghdad disagrees. He's a professor at the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation.
What we do is based on numbers. We're data people.
He points to CDC surveys that show only 20% of Americans have been infected, and he predicts around 20% will be vaccinated by April.
Best case scenario in the United States would be around 40%. That's not herd immunity.
You seem very fired up.
This is not amateur hour.
Dr. Saad Omer is the director of the Yale Institute for Global Health. He also questioned the op-ed, saying there's no way to calculate natural immunity at this point.
That's not the appropriate interpretation of data. There's a reason why you won't see experts who have been working on infectious disease sort of going around making these kinds of predictions, because there is genuine uncertainty.
And that gets to a key point of contention. what's causing the current decline in cases. Dr. McCary argues the only explanation is natural immunity from infections. But Doctors Mokdad and Omer say it's actually human behavior.
Americans did what it takes to bring this pandemic down.
Their data shows mask wearing is way up and travel is way down.
There is substantial impact of voluntary response combined with social distancing restrictions.
The lockdown and the behaviors did it.
Our experts all agree cases and deaths should keep dropping, especially with the weather warming up, and we may see looser restrictions as a result. But they say it could reverse quickly with new variants.
All this success story that we see right now is so fragile. It's so dangerous to talk about herd immunity in April and in May, simply because we have new variants that are making the vaccine less effective.
So we can verify our experts do not agree that we'll reach herd immunity in April.
Even if the trends bear out, the rationale is important because that reasoning that tells us what happens next and what strategies we need to apply.
With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.